All right, everybody, welcome back to Introduction to MATLAB. My name is Azim Iqbal, and I'm a laboratory instructor at Center for Experimental Physics Education, LUMS, Lahore. So we were talking about learning MATLAB, and as I said earlier in my last video, that this is an introductory course for anyone who is interested into getting started with MATLAB and to just get to know the software and perform some basic operations on it. These were the contents that we discussed that we're going to cover. Let's start off with the first introduction to MATLAB. MATLAB stands for Matrix Laboratory. Matrices are arrays of numbers, mostly in two dimensions. Uh, if you want to know more about matrices, please do let me know. I could ease it out for you if you are new to the concept of matrices. For those who know it, matrices are arrays of elements. They can be strings, they can be numbers in two-dimensional arrays. They can be even one-dimensional as well. You'll get to know this as we move along. MATLAB was developed by Cleve Moller from University of New Mexico. He was a very famous American mathematician. And the interesting story behind it is that he had to give homework to his students, which involved calculations on linear algebraic calculations. But in that time, in the late 1970s, the language that was uh, primarily available for working in the computing industry was Fortran. And what Cleve Moller did was that he wrote two libraries, LinSpec and EINSpec. Both of these libraries were written so that he does not have to write them again in Fortran, or he does not have to rewrite Fortran. And the students had to use those libraries through the MATLAB script or the MATLAB to actually come up with a solution to those questions. So that's how MATLAB was invented, and later on, with the co-founder Jack Little, uh, Clive Moore co-founded MathWorks, a company that which currently owns MATLAB. So MATLAB is a high-performance language for technical computing and integrates computing, visualization, and programming environment very beautifully and very sophisticated. You will get to know this as we move along, that MATLAB is very easy to use. It's very to the point, and you don't need to import libraries. You do not need to uh, uh, you know create a complete preface or set of codes. You do not need to write a set of codes before you actually start writing your program. You just simply start off by declaring your variables and just hitting enter. It has sophisticated data structures, contains built-in editing and debugging tools, and it supports or object-oriented programming. So, like Java, we can use MATLAB for object-oriented programming. It also provides you a very good data structure. You can create GUIs in it, where you can have a visual uh, front end with buttons, with graphs, with the functional keys and areas which you can use, where the user can actually interact with the software or with the code that you have written. MATLAB was first commercially or largely adopted by the researchers and practitioners in control engineering. And this is the primary reason it has a very dynamic and very good control engineering toolbox, which contains many control system theories and tools that the control engineers can use, including Kalman filters and the Bayesian filtering, etc. So it is now also used extensively in education, in particular the teaching of linear algebra and numerical analysis, and popular amongst scientists involved in image processing. Now, because MATLAB is very easy to use, this is why it's very famous in the education industry. Uh, Just write up a few, declare some variables, write up your functions and your scripts, and just give them a call, and you'll be able to uh, see the results right in front of you. You do not need to go into the complexities of programming itself. So MATLAB is this is the reason that we are using MATLAB in our laboratory as well. That the physicists or the physics students who are new to programming environment, they need to get into the education of seeing how the mathematical models uh, operate and how they are behaving. So MATLAB is the best way we are easily able to give them this opportunity. So let's immediately begin with the layout. Here's a layout, a basic layout of MATLAB. Now, I would like you to first just go through this and keep this in your mind. Then I'll get you to the software itself. So this is MATLAB 2015 version. Almost all of the versions have the same basic structure, but these applications, this apps tab was newly introduced, where MATLAB is now providing you inbuilt applications that allow you to perform various mathematical functions without writing the code itself. You just need to declare your variables, your dependents and independent variables. So primarily, this is the menu bar up. This is the toolbar that contains all the different tools to run your code, to break your points, to run and time your code, etc. Then on this left side, which says current folder, this is your working directory. Now, if you're new to MATLAB, I want to tell you that this working directory .m means that this is the folder where all of your working files must be placed. For example, here it's written calman.m. Now this is a script file, and there's a function file.m. The function is a function, a general mathematical function, and Kalman is the script that I have written in order to either input and to get some data from that function file. So all of my related scripts and functions and files have to be in this directory in order for them to work. All right, so this is the working directory. Then the second thing is editor window. This editor window, when I double click on any of the script file, opens up and gives me the ability to edit the contents of that script file. Then I have a command window. This command window, as the name implies, it's a place where I write commands, and the MATLAB obeys my commands. I say declare A equals to 1 and B equals to 2, and then I say A plus B, what is it's going to be equal to? It's give me an answer, an ANS, 3. So that's the command window. The fourth thing in the right hand corner is the workspace. Workspace is the list of variables. It's the window where all of the variables that you declare in mathematics is going to display. So when I say in the command window that A equals to 1, or if I say, for example, capital R equals to 10, in the workspace, in a similar fashion, capital R is going to save, as mentioned over here. So I'll show you this in a bit of moment. Okay, so this is the basic layout. So let's immediately get to the basic arithmetic operators. So now, so far you have gone through the basic layout of MATLAB. And now I immediately want you to start off by doing some cool stuff on MATLAB. So let's start off by doing some of these operations in MATLAB.